Hi everyone, Chris Natzke here with Black Belt Leadership Speaking and Coaching with your Mind of a Champion Tip of the Week live on Facebook. Today what I want to do is I want to talk about the power of perseverance and the magic that can happen when, despite all odds, we lean into difficult situations with courage and a tenacity for making things happen in our lives. You know, for the last 4.5 decades, I've been honored to teach, thousands of martial arts students, and I've been able to watch them and observe them and guide them when they've been up against it, when they've gone through very difficult times in their life, financial difficulties, physical difficulties, relationship breakups, etc. And I've always been inspired when people really take what they've learned in the martial arts in terms of the area of perseverance and they apply it to their lives. And that reminds me of a story that I want to share with you about one of my favorites students. His name was Nabil. Now, Nabil had come to us after he and his mom had moved from Southern California when he was around 8 years old. And he had trained in martial arts before, but to say that Nabil was a natural in martial arts was really an overstatement. It wasn't like it was natural for him, but he just kept showing up. He just loved training, he loved the environment, and he just kept showing up. And after several years of hard training, he eventually was promoted to his junior first-degree black belt. But Nabil didn't stop there. He continued to train, continued to be part of the school, and several years after that, he got a second-degree black belt. Then after that, he started as part of our leadership team. So he started teaching other students. And then after 3 attempts, he finally made it to our world-class demonstration team because he decided to keep showing up. Well, it's now his senior year of high school. He's 17 years old, and he's going to get ready to go off to college soon. But he's already worked his way up the ranks at our school to be one of our instructors, one of our lead instructors. And he was charismatic. He was caring to his students. He knew his stuff, and his students absolutely loved him. And the moms all thought he was amazing too. In fact, at 17 years old, they all thought he was in his mid-20s. And he had this one dream. It wasn't just about going to college, it was about going to a specific college. He had his heart set on going to the Colorado School of Mines here in Denver, which is one of the top engineering schools in the country. And anytime I'd ever spoken to him about college, he always talked about that with a gleam in his eye. Well, it's around that time of year when students are applying for colleges, and I walk into the studio one day, and he's standing there at the front desk. There's Nabil, but normally he's got a really bright look on his face, big smile, but not today. And he said, "Hey, sir, can we go into the office and chat?" And we sit down, and he proceeds to tell me that he had just received a letter that day denying his admittance to the Colorado School of Mines. So he had gotten a C his sophomore year of high school in chemistry, and I guess that was one of the deciding factors. So he was crestfallen. But after we talked about it a little bit, true to his form, he already had a plan. What he was going to do is he was going to go to another university here in Colorado for a year, get his grades up, and then reapply to the School of Mines the following year, so he could start there his sophomore year. So I thought, what a great example of perseverance. So anyway, a couple of weeks go by, and I walk into the studio again in the afternoon getting ready to teach classes, and there's Nabil. He's at the front desk. But this time he's got this big smile on his face. And he asked me again if we can go into the office, and we sit down. He proceeds to tell me that on his own accord, he'd reached out to the director of admissions of the School of Mine and asked for a meeting. And the sole intention of the meeting was for him to find out what classes he needed to take at another school so he could transfer in the following fall. But he didn't do just that. I mean, he spoke with passion about what his dream was for going there. He was confident, he was kind, he was connecting. And mid-sentence, during one of the things he's saying, the admissions director held up his hand. He said, "Stop right there." So Nabil thought, "Oh my gosh, I've just insulted this guy." And he says, "Nabil, congratulations. I'm going to accept you into the School of Mines. Don't you ever get a C in chemistry again." So there you have it. He showed up, he persevered, and all of a sudden he's able to go to his dream school. And 2 months after that, I had my arm around him, explaining to a crowd of 200 to 300 people at his third-degree black belt test, at our annual black belt testing, this story of perseverance. Because again, he just kept showing up. Now, it's been several years since I've seen Nabil, and I heard he graduated from School of Mines and he's now working in the petroleum industry, which was his dream as well. But it's just such a great idea for us and a great reminder. And I oftentimes share this story with high school students when I get the opportunity to speak there, but I think this applies to all of us, adults included, because we're constantly going to have challenges in our lives. But how many times do we kind of pull back and we don't show up fully because we're scared of failure? We're scared of what we might hear. We're scared of being disappointed. So my challenge for all of us this week is, where can we step into our discomfort? Where can we step into the challenges and be vulnerable and really go for it just by showing up? Because I know from my own experience, I know from the experience of my students, and I know this for you, is when we truly do that, that's when the magic can happen. So there you have it, my friends. There's my story and perseverance. It's my hope for you that you lean into something. What's that one thing you can look at this week that you could lean in and have a breakthrough result? And oh, by the way, if you'd like a little bit of guidance on this, just click the link below to this message. I'm going to have a little link there for you to go to my new website, chrisnatzke.com. And what you can do is, if you scroll down a little bit, you can sign up for a free report called The Top 10 Big Ideas to Become a Black Belt Leader. And in that are some great tools for you to show perseverance to get what you want in your life. So thanks so much for joining me. Make sure to like, comment, and share, and we'll see you next time on the Mind of a Champion Tip of the Week.